Hey everybody, just want to make a couple observations about the situation between the U.S. and Iran right now in the immediate wake of the president's teleprompter-assisted address. So he comes out, first thing he says is, as long as I'm president, Iran will not be allowed to develop nuclear weapons. And then he says, good morning, I'm Donald Trump, I'm here to talk about such and such. So putting that right up front before even the formalities of hello, welcome to the address, I think was a smart move because it allowed him or whoever wrote that speech to then go on to say some things which were really welcome to my ears, particularly where he said and then later reiterated, hey, we want Iran to be a prosperous nation. We want the Iranian people to enjoy the benefits of living in a 21st century modern advanced nation that is connected to the global trade network. There's benefits in that. Now, it's completely at odds with the actual posture of the U.S. in terms of sanctions. Sanctions, onerous. Economic sanctions remain in effect. So I think if we really, really wanted Iran to be a prosperous nation and the Iranian people to enjoy the benefits of living in a prosperous modern nation, we would end that sanctions regime right now. When given the choice of do we want to direct pain at the people or do we want to direct pain at policymakers and decision makers, well, obviously we want to do the latter. And that's what assassinating a military leader does. Imposing sanctions on the entire country mostly hurts people who have nothing to do with the things that we object to. So, I liked that President Trump said and reiterated, for maximum clarity, we want Iran to be a prosperous nation. I think we should all just if you can't bring yourself to agree with the president, agree with that sentiment and console yourself with the knowledge that somebody else wrote it. Now, here's what I noticed. Donald Trump, much as you may hate him, is an effective communicator. And he has demonstrated in the past that he can switch back and forth between a prepared teleprompter-assisted address and off-the-cuff comments, and he can move smoothly from one mode to the other, and he's great in both modes. We've seen him do teleprompter addresses before, and he's good at them. He doesn't mess up normally when he's giving a teleprompter address, and in this one, he messed up repeatedly, which to me says, these are not my words, these are not my sentiments, these are not my thoughts. This is what we all agreed to back in the office. This is the message that has been crafted collaboratively, and I am standing up here in front of the cameras and saying the words, but I'm not particularly excited about them. That's what I got. I did notice, and I'm not going to go to the effort to actually put clips of the president's speech here into this video, but I did notice that he was seemingly sort of unsure at first. He didn't have much force behind his presentation, and it wasn't really until he got to the parts where he was talking about how we really do want to move into a future where Iranians are doing well that he actually, there was some gravitas to his words, that his presentation actually had his normal level of communicative energy. Because at the beginning it was really halting. It was really, for him, a very weak opening. The absolute opening of, as long as I'm president, there'll be no Iranian nukes, that was strong. But then when he started, he got into the address and he started reading what's on the teleprompter, for the first couple minutes, he just seemed really flat to me. And thereafter, he stepped into his usual confidence and communicative effectiveness. After the attack, the initial assassination, which was Friday, oil prices jumped up a little bit, like 4%. They have since come back down. While it is in the interest of the press, and again, I'm back on Financial Times for a month because they offered me full access for $1. Sure, I'll take it. But the Financial Times is all over this story, continuously, and it is in their interest to point out, or to make a big deal, I guess, of whatever level of uncertainty, people with money and people who make money from money are feeling right now. I think the people who are in the best position to know what's likely to happen in the coming days, I don't think that they're particularly worried. I think the people who are worried are the people who have been manipulated into feeling worried for the benefit of those who can, instill that worry, which is to say, the corporate news media. Anxiety is their bread and butter. They are going to emphasize it and kindle it wherever they can. It's just their mode. That's how they operate. So, if you encounter, I don't want to say fear-mongering, but if you encounter news reports which seem to be, enthusiastically embracing the "oh, we're all very scared" narrative, take a couple letter grades off of that in terms of how seriously you take it. That's my advice to you. I can't tell you what to do. I can't compel you to view or feel or, consider things in a particular way, but this is what I would encourage. When you see people openly fear-mongering, well, then you should just, reject them entirely. Don't even bother telling them that you don't take them seriously. Just tune them out. The technology gives you the power to do that. And while I think it is, in general, a harmful social practice to mute voices that you disagree with, when they are actively fear-mongering, yeah, go ahead and tune those guys out. Silence that stuff. But presentations which are not so openly fear-mongering, but which are still reveling in the atmosphere of heightened anxiety, that's where I think, otherwise A-grade reporting should be considered C-grade reporting. And C-grade reporting that is reveling in anxiety, fail. All right, that is all. Talk to you later.